Right, guys, glad to see that so many of you were interested in the 9 weeks of Fitmas. There's going to be a few changes as we go through this, as I was discussing it with the girls, namely just the actual end date of the challenge. Me with my, shall we say, less than 100% brain at the minute has worked it out wrong on here, but all will become clear. So if you are watching this and you are interested in the challenge, then we'll go through it in a sec. So we did a challenge in lockdown, didn't we, Claire?
Yeah, which I think went pretty well. Kept people on track, just up to the lead up till the gym's opening.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, and it was something that we'd not done before. Like, we're not coaches that do push these kind of challenges. If you are a client that has followed a quote unquote challenge before, then you'll understand the reasons why we don't do these type of things usually. But obviously, if it's part of a coaching process and there is a way out of it, so you get education along the way, then there's no harm in having a little bit of a focus time, is there?
No.
So I think sometimes challenges can be seen as the beginning and end, but this is just to be continued and just a way of us focusing, adding in a little bit of motivation, and obviously some further structure to what you're already doing. So let's go into it, and then you can obviously message your coach if you want to take part in it. So I think the main things that we want to go through are the what, when, why, how, and where. So after watching this, you should have no further questions really. But if you want to ask it, then you should have been part of the fucking Zoom. No, I'm only joking. If you want to ask questions, then just fire them away. But it is going to be starting on Monday, but this will all become clear in a second. So my amazing slides, which I've slaved over all day again. What? So we're going to do 9 weeks, client focus challenge aimed at those with a fat loss goal. So obviously you've got other clients who are not just working in a fat loss phase, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, so I got a few of mine in the gaining phase, some at maintenance, and then some ready to go into a gain.
Yeah. So you guys who are not predominantly focused on fat loss, fortunately this isn't for you, but we know that your goals are still going to be worked towards while you're working with your coach. Let me just get rid of this out of the way. When? So like we've mentioned, it's going to be starting this Monday, and then that is just slightly different. Instead of the 19th, it's going to run up until the 12th. Just bear with me. Hobbs and Frank are getting it up and having a little bit of cuddle right now. I've just got to keep checking to make sure Frank's not eating the cat. I'm on like tenterhooks at the minute. So the final check-in is going to be the 12th of December. I think we all agreed that the 19th/20th is going to be too soon before Christmas, and people will probably end up dropping off before that. So it's going to be 9 weeks from this Monday up until the 12th of December. What the reason we're doing it? Why are we doing it, Claire? Why?
I think it's to help. A lot of people have that mentality, Christmas is coming soon, so I'll start in the new year. But 9 weeks, for me, it's a lot of time to maybe waste in a little bit of fuck it mode, thinking you can just go off on a tangent because Christmas is coming, which is only one day. So it's not worth giving everything up for a day, but it'll keep you motivated.
Every single year, it seems like marketing-wise, you get closer and closer. Like, it'll soon be like January and people will be planning for the next year's like Christmas. Like,
yeah.
Christmas is one day, guys. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be a few days what you can have off plan. We're not going to get you to track unless you're getting on stage, which I have done many a Christmas day on a set plan, and it's not fun. So obviously we wouldn't expect you guys to do that, but there are going to be a few days where you're off plan. The rest of it, there's no need to go, like Claire said, full blown fuck it mode for the next 9-10 weeks. Like, there's just no need. And what will happen if you do that, then you're going to be rolling into January. And if you're in a fat loss phase, how easy is it to come out of a calorie deficit, even when it's not all these temptations?
Yeah.
So I think like M&S and everyone like that, obviously it is only 10 weeks till Christmas, but this has been going on for a while now. It's not even Halloween yet, and people are thinking about, right, what we're going to do on Christmas Day. Like there's still a good few months yet
Yeah.
where we can make good progress. So that's the reason we're doing it, to keep you focused in this sticky period, because you will probably have people around you who are trying to sway you off track, which will happen all year round, but it's like the nights are drawing in now, the weather's getting colder, we want that nice comfort food, which you can still have, but this is just going to keep us on the straight and narrow for a little bit longer. So if anything, it's going to be a win-win situation, because when you get to those days where you can off plan, you know that you not necessarily earned it, but you know that we've already done the damage limitation.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why. How's it all working? So all you got to do is you got to message your coach before Sunday, because obviously we do like a little bit of downtime, although on the Sunday we'll probably be sorting this out and getting numbers ready. So if you don't leave it to last minute, that would be a winner for us, please.
Yeah.
So before Sunday the 10th, which only leaves tonight, if you're listening to this tonight, Friday, and tomorrow to message us, all right? £35 to enter. The last challenge was 6 weeks and it was 20 or 25, can't remember. And the prizes was epic. So we don't get anything out of this. Like we are literally just putting the extra time in for you guys. We're not getting anything from it from a financial perspective. All we're doing it for is you, all right? So all the money that we get for you entering will go back into the potential prizes that you might win, but we'll come on to that in a second. Apologies if you can hear the cat. Like this is the noise she makes and she doesn't get enough attention.
Oh.
Like, meh. Right, so where is it going to take place? So it's an online based challenge. All the information that you're going to need is going to be online. Doesn't matter what gym you're based at. This is for online clients or one-to-one clients. It's open for everybody who meets the criteria. And I'll come on to that in a minute, but there may be in-person meet-up opportunities along the way. So this is something that we're discussing today, because unlike lockdown, we can now get together and there might be some mini challenges / meetups along the way just to keep everybody interactive. So anything to add to that? I think I've pretty much covered most of it.
Yeah, well, that's covered, nice and easy to follow as well.
So I think one of the things that people ask is it going to be okay for me? Well, the first thing that we've said is, are you in a fat loss phase? This isn't for people that are looking to maintain. This isn't for people who are in a muscle gaining phase. And if your sole focus right now is your performance, then this isn't for you either. So this is pretty much, I'd probably say like 80% of our clients right now are in a fat loss phase. So if you tick that box, we'll go down to the next question. Are you already adhering to what has been set? So I think this is a really important one, because I think people who are struggling to stick to what has been set almost will go towards something that's harder, but that's kind of going against the reason that we're doing this. So if you're already struggling to stick to what your coach has set, things are going to get harder in this challenge. So it's time to be super honest with yourself. It's not going to be one of those secrets that are going to get you to your goal quicker, because if you're struggling to stick to what's been set, and there are people that will fit this category, then this isn't going to be for you. All right. So if you are someone that's in a fat loss phase and you're already sticking to what's been set, then ask yourself, do you have any social events in the challenge times? Now, there's certain things that we can work around, but if you're sat there thinking, shit, every weekend for the next 9 weekends I'm going out, then this is not for you. You're already part of a fully tailored coaching program, so you're not going to be missing out. Don't worry if you get FOMO. We're going to keep people up to date who are not in the challenge about what's going on. But the idea of the challenge is to really push yourself, and it's going to get harder. If you've got a lot of social events on in this challenge time, then this is not going to be for you. Would you agree with that, Claire?
Yeah, because it's like if your focus is going to be going out every weekend, it's not going to be on the challenge, is it? Because obviously, if you're getting drunk and eating more, so I would agree with that.
Yeah, like I said, it's so easy to take you out of a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
And the idea of this challenge is to get, well, the most amount of body fat off in that 9 weeks. All right. So if you're in a fat loss phase, oi, oi, oi. Oh, that was Bob, sorry. Take Bob. I thought Frank was needed, Jesus Christ. If you said, right, yeah, to all those three, are you ready to make further sacrifices? Are you prepared for things to get harder? And if you can answer yes to all that, then good. If not, it's probably a good chance to log off right now. So how is it going to work? Well, like I've already said, you're going to message your coach. The coach will amend your tailored plan as normal. So you're not going to get like a set plan. You're not going to get a set training program, because all your training, this is one of the reasons we don't do challenges, is because it's very generic. Yeah. So your plans are going to stay tailored to you, but it might get a little bit stricter than what you've been used to. So instead of being in a moderate calorie deficit, it might be, right, we're fucking going for it. Because at the end of the day, all of us three want our clients to be the ones that win the categories that I'm going to speak about. Because I don't even realise, but Claire is the most competitive person ever. If one of Claire's clients and you end up eating dust for 9 weeks, then don't blame me. I'm only joking, but it is going to stay tailored. You're going to check in as normal every single week, and you're going to get added into a dedicated 9 weeks of Fitmas WhatsApp group. All right. Each week will have a different theme. So if you was part of the 6-week challenge in lockdown, you'll understand what we mean by this. But every weekend, it'll either be Saturday or Sunday, we'll drop a video into the WhatsApp group to let you know what that week's theme is. And it will likely get harder as the weeks go on. So if on week 1 you think, oh, is that it? Then get prepared for it to get a little bit harder. So that's how it's going to work. Are there any prizes? Obviously. So like we mentioned, we do not take any financial gain from this. So everything that you put in for your entry, firstly, let me just go the question, why do we need to pay for it then? Well, people who pay, like we've said before, people who pay.
Well, if you pay for something, you put more effort in, don't you? So
yeah, so people who pay attention. Yeah. All right, so you've got that investment there already. You've got that financial investment, and obviously we want to fund some mega prizes. So 3 categories up for grabs this time round. We've got the biggest transformation. So I'll come on to when you're checking in a second. The hardest worker and the team player award. These are all going to be subjective, judged by us as coaches. All right. So after the challenge has been completed, we are going to get together and sorry, Sandy, we're already all the way through. So I'm just going to X out of that and you can watch this back. We do me a favor, Chloe, just send a message in the group and say if you're trying to get into the talk, then you're already too late. It'll be uploaded in a bit. Yeah, snooze you lose, girl. Right, okay, so these are all going to be subjectively judged by us. Last time we did put the biggest transformation up on social media, but a little bit of it did turn into a popularity contest. Not to say that those that got the top spots, oh, now people are trying to join in. Sorry, guys. You just put a message in there.
Yeah.
We can watch it back in a minute.
Done.
Yeah, so it's going to be judged by us. Obviously, it's going to be done as fair as possible. We are coaches. We know what a transformation looks like. We know the people that work hard, and we know what a team player looks like as well. All right. So biggest transformation is obviously the person who looks the most different. this is going to be very strict. So they're going to be under strict instructions when you send over your beginning and end check-in. There's going to be no pausing. There's going to be no sucking in. There's going to be no, right, I'll have a spray tan and hope that I'll look different. Like, we know all the tricks in the book. I think Vanessa put something on her story today to say about standing in a different angle and making it look like you've changed. Like, there's going to be none of that. It's going to be before and after pictures. All right. Like we did last time, well, unlike we did last time your transformation had to go on social media for you to get judged. And based on that, some people didn't want to do it, which was a shame. So this time round, none of the transformations, unless you want to post it or unless you give your permission, will go on social media before. It'll be completely confidential between us three. So I think that will get, obviously, more people's approval. Hardest worker is going to be judged by the mini challenges and themes that we do throughout. People that show the most willing, the most get up and go, shall we say. And then the biggest team player is going to be the one that is supporting others, because we are a community. It is one of the biggest things that sets us apart from other coaches. We are a team. We want to see other people win. So the person who shows the most willing to support your teammates will also be rewarded, because that is one of our values and something that we truly believe in. And these will be judged after the challenge has been completed. Bob's has broken my laptop. All right, so after listening to all that, if you've decided that it's going to be for you, how do you go about it? Well, like we've mentioned, you're going to message your coach before Sunday. Please don't send us 10 messages one after another. If you've messaged us to say that you want to be in the challenge, and that's good, we know. Wait for us to get back to you. Yeah? Please don't send us question marks either, because I will block you. That is how much stress I am right now. I will block. Frank will press the button of block. All right. And then what's going to happen is, once we've acknowledged that you want to be on the challenge, you're going to send payment directly to your coach. So you should have their payment details already. And then it'll all go into one big pot. We'll confirm the actual amount of the pot when we know how many people are in there, so you know that we're not ripping you off. Claire would rip you off.
Hey. Only the scouts are in me would.
Yeah, exactly. So once you've confirmed and paid, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to check in on Monday the 11th. We want this done as early as possible. So if you're one of these that check in at 9 p.m, then don't, because you're making our lives hard. All right. So your first check-in is going to be done on Monday morning. If you start work at 5 a.m. on a Monday, get up at 4. Yeah. Just for this one day, get up at 4. We don't want to see any excuses for why you've not sent your initial check-in.
No, because it takes literally 10 minutes, so there's no excuse not to do it, regardless of what time you're in
10
work.
minutes, set an alarm, set a reminder, put something around your dog, put a bandana around your dog to remind you, put post-it notes on your fridge or your coffee machine. Like, we don't want any excuses why this not's been done. You've already committed to doing the challenge. You can commit to do your first check-in. It goes without, like, if Sam and only check-in on a Friday, I don't give a fuck, right? This is going to be your first check-in for the challenge. No matter if you're checking on a Friday, Saturday, any day, it's going to be Monday, the 11th of October. This is your starting check-in for the challenge. And then after this starting check-in for the challenge, for the next 8 weeks, you can check in on your preferred day. You can go back to your normal day. Yeah? But we need it on Monday, because then it's a level playing field for everyone. The pictures are going to be done, obviously, we'll ask for natural lighting, but if it's dark, it's dark. In the best lighting possible, in clothing that we can see your body composition. So we don't want any leggings. I don't want anyone with a t-shirt on. Nobody who's naked, please. People have sent me a clue before. I don't want to see any nips. So moderate, either underwear or sports bra, thong and shorts, etc. is okay. And I want your pictures from the front, sides, and rear in a natural posture. Now, if you're pausing and looking like you're not pausing, we can tell. So just stand normally. Don't walk around like this, right straight. Unless you're Claire. Yeah, so just stand normal, chill out. And what else don't we want to see on the pictures, Claire?
For me, my pet hate is taking pictures through the mirror as well.
Exactly. If you don't know how to put your phone on a timer, then I don't really know what to say to that. But message us before, because there's nothing worse than doing a selfie and you're like this.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to compare that. So learn how to put your phone on a timer, or take a video and screenshot in a natural posture.
Yeah.
So just to confirm, you have to check in on Monday, the 11th of October for this to count. Yeah, we're going to be as strict as possible, guys, because we want everybody to have a fair chance. And then what you're going to do is you're going to await your changes, if applicable, because don't forget, it's going to be based on your tailored plan and the first message within the group. In terms of your changes, the normal check-in response applies. So it's 24 hours response time policy, yeah? So Claire and Vanessa do a lot more personal training sessions than me. So please don't message them and say, have you got my check-in? What are my changes? I want to get going with the challenge. We understand that. We also have personal training clients as well. But we will get your changes back to you as soon as we can, if applicable. And then you're going to be added into the WhatsApp group, 9 weeks of Fitmas group. And you're going to await the first message within the WhatsApp group for your weekly theme. All right, so that is how it's going to work. I think that's pretty much explained. What would you say, Claire?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to cover. Obviously, we'll post all the other info in the group, but I think that is everything. But I think a challenge is good. Obviously, people can build habits within this if they do struggle, because the longer you do something, the better you get, and then continuing it after that. So it might be a good thing to take away and have that little push for people.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the first challenge, a few of the themes, we won't give these away, because if you weren't past of the first challenge, then we don't want to give too much away. But some of the weekly challenges were a challenge for people, and it's the things that shouldn't have necessarily been a challenge, but it just brought to the surface areas of improvement that people could take forward. So not only are we using it as a challenge, we're using it, like Claire said, to build good habits to carry forward. Because everything that we're asking you to do are things that either you should be doing already, or what need a little bit more work within your journey anyway. It's just going to be a lot more strict. So I was going to ask if there's any questions, but the first person to join was at 7:15, or tried to join, so there was no point, because we was already halfway through the presentation. So what I'll say is, if you are watching this back, please leave any questions either in the SME WhatsApp group or on the Facebook group, and we'll answer any further questions that you've got. Other than that, please message your coach before Sunday, and this is for existing clients only. So if you're sat there thinking, oh, Sharon might be interested in this, they can't become a client after this now and want to start on Monday with the challenge, okay? Same goes for anybody who's going through consultation process. If you are not already set up as a client and you've not already got your plans, then you can't take part in the challenge. Yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll leave Frank with the last words. Frank?
It's just Frank's bum. Frank! Mr. Squish!
Frank is the before picture. Bubs is under the chair. Bubs is the after picture.
This is Simba's before.
Right, I'll leave it there. Let me just stop recording, and then we will. 1 second.
I love my baby dog.